Hey everybody, and welcome back to Coin Flipping Simulator 2001. Now, I know that you're all eager to get to the gripping coin flipping gameplay, but unfortunately there is a tactical minigame attached to this that we're going to have to go through before we get there. So yeah, we're going back to Blaad again, and this time we're going to milk the gambling man dry. Before we do that though, I'm going to do a little trek across the map in order to buy a large number of miracle charms, because those are going to be pretty crucial later on in the game. Miracle charms are pretty expensive at 5,000 gold a pop, but we have so much money from gambling that we are able to buy quite a few. Miracle charms are fairly self-explanatory, so I'm going to take a moment to explain the next couple of maps. These are going to be forced skirmishes, and the annoying thing about skirmishes in this game is that they are highly randomized in terms of deployment, and that includes our deployment. When I get into these skirmishes, I have pretty much no control over where my units are going to go, and that's really frustrating. Getting the lowest possible turn count on these skirmishes generally requires resetting repeatedly for exactly the right RNG seed, and that's a pain to do because it requires you to be absolutely frame perfect. So I generally haven't bothered doing that. In general, when I'm doing a skirmish, my strategies are going to be based on where I get randomly deployed and trying to get the minimum turn count from there rather than getting the absolute floor. Anyway, I've now reached the gambler's house, so sit back, relax, and either enjoy, or I guess you can skip past it with the link that I'm going to put in the description. See you on the other side. And welcome back. I've left this one last round of the minigame in at normal speed so that you can see what I had to sit through fully an hour of while playing this game. And also, in case you're not patient enough, which would be understandable, you'll also get to see exactly what the gambling man says when he runs out of money. Anyway, the reason that we've done all of this coin flipping is that we once again need to learn a few skills. And in this case, that is Mountaineer, although I forgot to check which house was the one that taught Mountaineer before recording this video, so you're going to have to look at a couple of other skill houses before I figure it out. One notable thing on this map that I forgot to mention earlier is that there is in fact a secret shop in the upper right corner. We can't possibly have a member key at this point in the game, because Runan only gets his after the first reunion, so it's something that we have to come back to later, and I simply do not end up getting a member key on this route at all. There's some decent stuff there though, in case you're playing along in a more casual setting. So now that Holmes and Plum have learned Mountaineer, it's time for us to bid farewell to Blaad for now, although we will be returning later on to learn some more skills. Thankfully though, the coin flipping minigame is fully behind us forever, and I never have to do it again, thank goodness. Okay, so now we're going to have a little bit of preparation segment, in which I sort out all of my newly acquired items and dump them in the convoy. The miracle charms are not actually intended for Holmes's route. They're all going to be handed over to Runan at the next reunion. Also, Merchen no longer has any need for a weapon, because we're not going to be deploying him again for a very long time. Naron is now fully equipped to start being a monster in combat, so we're going to give him a nice variety of strong weapons so that he can be the best killing machine possible. And really, that's about it. So that will be all for this video, and join me next time as we begin our trek across the aerial mountains into the Leather Valley. See you then.